Hello, and welcome to the 2021-2022 Supporting High Quality K-2 Literacy Instruction session. My name is Shanna Bieber, and I'm the Director of Literacy in the Office of Teaching and Learning at LDOE. Let's begin with a brief overview of the Super App timeline. Here on the slide, you can see the release, submission, review, resubmission, and allocation dates. Please make note of these dates for your calendar. You can access all of the 2021-2022 Super App materials in the School Improvement Library on LDOE's website. And you can also access all of the presentation recordings by clicking on the slide image in the presentation deck. By the end of this session, your school system planning team will be able to understand funding options to support K-2 literacy initiatives, including literacy coaches, devices, connectivity, and tutors, and professional development for teachers. The school system planning framework and response guidance is the primary planning tool for school systems and is structured by domain, focus area, and indicator, providing guidance on responding to each question within Super App. In our session today, we will focus on 4 specific questions to support high-quality K-2 literacy instruction. For today's agenda, we will start by sharing the overall K-2 student vision, and then we will talk about each of the initiatives mentioned on this slide: the literacy coaching model, the real-time early access to literacy program, K-2 literacy content leaders, and K-2 class training. Here is the department's vision for K-2 students in Louisiana. The vision is that all students in all schools are treated with dignity and respect, and where they have the opportunity to do the following: learn through purposeful play and exploration, apply foundational skills to read and write with understanding, engage in meaningful conversations about grade-appropriate topics and texts, and persevere to solve world problems. This session will provide an overview of a number of initiatives the department is working on to support K-2 students' literacy development. You will see that with each initiative and corresponding funding opportunity, it will tie back to the student vision shown in this slide. We will now discuss the literacy coaching model. Louisiana is working urgently to improve literacy outcomes and ensure all students are reading on grade level by the end of 3rd grade. The literacy coaching model is a key initiative in achieving this goal. Literacy coaches will provide high-quality professional development around effective literacy practices in the foundations of reading, provide feedback, engage in one-on-one coaching, and model best practices, identify where high-quality curricula built-in supports are not being maximized, model and teach new quality literacy intervention activities, and coach teachers on using high-quality, evidence-based assessments to determine the most effective interventions required. In the Super App, question Workforce Talent 5.1 asks school systems to request funding for literacy coaches in CIR/UIR-A schools. This funding is being provided by the Comprehensive Literacy State Development Grant. School systems may request a match of local funding to support the total salary and benefits of one literacy coach at each CIR UIRA schools, with a maximum request of $50,000 per school. School systems may also request the coach's participation in a reading foundational training. You can request this funding by answering the question of how many literacy coaches will the school system train in CIR UIR academic schools. In this section, we will discuss real-time early access to literacy, also known as our REAL program. The REAL program provides early literacy supports for students in pre-K through third grade. Through REAL, school systems are allocated funding to provide students with technology and tutoring services. The REAL program is funded by a federal grant that the department received in July of 2020, known as the Education Stabilization Fund Rethinking Education Models Grant. This was opened in response to the coronavirus pandemic, and the focus of this grant is to support young learners with remote learning. Through Super App, school systems can request funding for students to participate in the REAL program. In Core Academics Question CA 6.1, school systems are asked to identify the number of pre-K through third grade students at CIR UIR academic schools who are in need of targeted early literacy support, including support required to effectively engage in remote learning. School systems will enter a number to identify how many students will benefit from individualized literacy tutoring, student devices needed to reach a 1-to-1 tech ratio, and internet connectivity for grades pre-K through 3. Please note that school systems do not have to request a specific amount of funding, but that funding will be allocated based on the numbers entered here. We will now discuss K-2 literacy content leaders. Teachers are most effective when they have access to high-quality curriculum, ongoing professional development that helps them to use that curriculum effectively, and data from a limited number of standards-aligned, non-summative assessments that measure how well students are meeting the outcomes of the high-quality curriculum. As such, a key goal of the Louisiana Content Leader Initiative is to provide content-rich and curriculum-specific professional development. The second key goal of the Content Leader Initiative is to create a leadership pathway for talented local educators. As K-2 literacy content leaders, the goals are to deeply understand the components of effective literacy instruction and the foundations of reading, deeply understand the essential elements of a high-quality literacy curriculum, be highly prepared to provide opportunities for students to learn through intentional interactions and opportunities, and apply best practices of adult learning and content expertise. Through Super App, school systems can request funding for teachers to participate in K-2 Literacy Content Leader. In Workforce Talent Question, WT 2.2, school systems are asked to identify the number of participants that K-2 Literacy Content Leader training. Each CIR school serving grades K-2 must have at least one literacy content leader. School systems will enter a number to identify how many teachers will participate in the training and request up to $3,000 per K-2 literacy content leader. We will now discuss training and professional development funds for K-2 class. The class observation tool can be used to support instructional practices in a high-quality curriculum. There are currently 23 school systems across Louisiana that are using class as an observation and professional development tool in kindergarten, first, and second grade classrooms to increase high-quality interactions between teachers and students. Administrators in participating schools often opt to use the class pilot to evaluate teacher performance. Class measures interactions in 3 domains: emotional support, classroom organization, and instructional support. The class tool effectively supports K-2 goals and standards. School systems who are participating in the class pilot can request funding in Super App to support training and ongoing professional development. Pilot sites have demonstrated greater collaboration between grade levels, better delivery of instruction using high-quality curriculum, which includes a decrease in behavior problems and an increase in student engagement, and improved outcomes for students, resulting in more students reading at or above grade level on the early literacy screener. Through Super App, school systems can request funding for training and professional development to participate in the K-2 class pilot. In Core Academics Question CA 2.2, school systems are asked to address ongoing professional development to support high-quality curriculum. Funds can be requested for recertification fees, new observer training, affiliate training, and other additional trainings or professional development offered by Teachstone. A table with the full list of options is linked on this slide. This slide contains Super App information. All Super App launch presentations and recording can be accessed via our School Improvement Library, linked on this slide. Please note that during November, December, and January, regularly scheduled team monthly calls and office hours will provide opportunities for school system leaders to learn more about specific sections, ask questions, and receive guidance. New for this year is the department will offer Super App planning support calls beginning in December, where systems can request one-on-one targeted guidance and support with planning, completing the workbook, and aligning funding to priorities. Please contact ldoe.grantshelpdesk@la.gov with questions.